Lady in my church was selling her 2001 Dodge Ram. She was the original owner, 1500 V8, 5.9 liter. It was pretty clean inside. She knew all the dings and dents and pointed them all out to me, and I decided to take them out and have the thing painted. But my boss said, hey, why don't you Raptor line it? I'm like, what? And it's a liner that you put inside the bed truck typically, but you can actually tint the liner, and so that's what I decided to do. I bought 10 liters of Raptor liner, and that's what I decided I would do. And looking at some other videos, one gentleman put 1.5 ounces of urethane thinner in it, and that's what I did. Bought some of that, and you saw that put in there. And also the hardener. You have to put in 250 milliliters or 8.45 ounces. And then you have about 30 minutes to apply this stuff. You can add it all in to the actual bottle, or you can mix it and then pour it in, which is what I did. There's my son shaking it up really good to make sure it's ready to go. And you attach it to a compressor with a gauge. And I put a little water catcher in there. I'm in Texas, quite humid. It is pretty forgiving, I have to say, though I did make some mistakes my first go around. The first coat I did all right. I was careful to keep that nozzle about 14 inches away, which is really the trick of the whole activity. You want to stay 14 inches away. You get too close or you stop moving that sprayer, and as forgiving as the Raptor liner can be, it's not that forgiving. I found out that it will blotch, kind of look more like a rattle can, and so I was really kind of upset when I first did it. But the first coat that went around, I did really well, and I'll talk a little bit more about what I did to fix it later. Keep an eye on your gauge. It was starting to drop off. I went 70 to 80 psi. My compressor wasn't quite keeping up. I did use a larger one, but it's 25 years old, and it's going out, but it was doing all right for a while. So stop every once in a while and kind of keep an eye on that gauge. You know, the lower the pressure, the thicker you're going to have the spray or the grain of the Raptor liner. You notice I have a cane there. I have spina bifida. I don't get around without it these days, but as you can see, it doesn't really stop me. All right, there's the first coat. It's a little translucent. You can see the truck bed behind that Raptor, but I tried to do a really even coat that first time around. Supposed to let it dry, I don't know, 30, 45 minutes before applying a second coat. And here I have the tape coming off. I did apply a second coat, and as I said, what happened was it blotched. So the Raptor people said sand it lightly and then just redo it. And I only needed 3 more bottles after that. So you don't need to use 13 bottles. You just need to be real careful to keep it away and moving. 14 inches, that's the trick. And after about 30, 45 minutes, I started taking the tape off. It's still a little tacky. And I love that texture, though. It just looks really nice. You want to pull that tape away from the paint. And it seemed to not pull off. I was pleased. I'd already painted the handles behind the tape before I added the Raptor. I bought some bumper and vinyl Rust-Oleum spray paint. You can get it on Amazon, and it seemed to work all right. So those handles are already brought back from their faded former way. Just, again, kind of picking at it just a little bit, get that tape off. You tape it up really well, and it'll do you right. Though it's never perfect. If you look in that corner, you can see just a little bit of overspray on that window. I think I can live with that. Just trying to make a old truck look a little better. And there it is. What do you think? Blacked out that grill. I'm going to get a close-up. You can see the grain in it. The texture, it's just kind of nice, you know, even kinesthetically as you're moving your hand across it. As I said, I kind of resanded it after I was done, and then did another spray over with it. Had to retape everything, but it was totally worth it to get rid of the blotchiness. I'm just really happy with it. Look, I don't do this for a living. I'm not a professional. I don't work for Raptor. But if you take your time, keep 14 inches away, and just tape it up really good, you're going to get a good job out of there. Man, I'm really happy with this compared to what it was. I'd say $300 or $400 would probably get you through it. And then if you mess up like me, you're going to spend another 150. But hey, totally worth it. And I expect this stuff will last a long time. Maybe I'll do a follow-up video later. Hope you liked it. Like or subscribe below. Rushed In Works. Have a great one.